All right, and we're live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, just sitting here drinking my morning coffee, looking sexy as hell as usual. Thought I would sit down and do a video for you guys and gals. Wake up with everybody here. I'm going to get some other posting and stuff done while I do this. All right, and then we'll get a good live. I got like 5 or 6 client sheets I have to write today, though, so I'll get that done. Do a couple client blogs. That's going to be all I do. I'm just going to post on social media this morning. After that, relax, let myself recover the day off from training. And yeah, we'll take it from there. There we go. We're getting some of the regulars flowing through. See some viewers coming in. Let's hit that like button, guys. Let's get those likes up. Get them likes up for Coach. And get the Amazon wish list up. I think with less videos of these will be hitting people's feeds more. But the main thing, for the channel here, I think the lives and vlogs are all I'm going to do for just a little bit. I'm going to see what it does. I did a lot of that the last couple weeks or so, and the tubes made a record. My YouTube made the most money last month that it's made this entire year. Not by a huge margin, but by a little bit. So it's interesting. Plus, we picked up followers, picked up clients, so that's a good thing. All right. So again, knowing what's up with the algos. So it needs to be less content. These long lives, I feel like, really do the best. Right? They do the best. What I need to keep doing. Let me put up a community tab post though. All right. So the people know we're doing a coffee chat. People need to know we're doing a coffee chat. I'm going to turn the fan on in here. All right, there we go. I just saw, as soon as I hit that community tab, that made a bunch of views pop up. I'm going to turn my overhead fan on. I know it's not cold, but not yet. I like to get airflow in here, guys. Get a little bit of airflow. Yeah, I'll make some other posts while we work with you guys. Man, I put up the thumbnail I have in here. I put it up yesterday. You're talking about my gray beard and my dad bod, and the diversity of comments is fascinating, right? That's absolutely fascinating. I had everything from "you're clearly on gear" to "that's nowhere near a dad bod, you're way too extreme to be a dad bod," all the way to "you look like you don't even lift." Like, it was the whole variety of stuff, right? Right. Good morning, Coach. How are you doing? I spoke to Psych this morning. She can't make it, at least. What? You didn't talk to Psych. She didn't tell you she's not going to. So if she shows up, Dad, we're going to know you're lying, man. We're going to know that you're lying. We'll see. Yeah, no, Dad, you should go for it, dude. Right? She's educated. She's cute. You could do worse. Just saying, bro. She's in your country. Get on it, man. You have to work on your game a little bit, though. The whole insulting thing, it doesn't work, dude. Yeah, I'm trying, but she's not playing hard. Bro, the whole insulting thing, it doesn't work, man. I'm telling you. But you also don't want to be, overly simpy either. You don't want to be, heavenly blessed beauty whose inner beauty is divine and everlasting. You don't want to go there either. You saying, bro? Hold on, while we're waiting, I got to check something with my Bitcoin. I said a guy pay a consult. He paid me a tip too, because he kept me over the call time like 45 minutes. He's supposed to do an hour call. I had like an hour and 45 the other night. He wanted to book another one. So he looks like he threw an extra $30 tip because of my time. That's cool. So I want to cash that out. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. Wow, this has been in depth. Yeah, I do consultations every couple months with this guy. It's honestly it's mostly his gear talk. Right? He needs help with his gear and nutrition based around it because he's looking at one of those guys who he's trying to get is jacked and as good of a physique as he possibly can get, just in terms of size and other stuff, while minimizing health risk. Like he's a younger dude, you know, but just one of those cases where he's just like, but I also want to make sure that I'm healthy. I don't want to shave years off my life, you know. So we go over a bunch of stuff with that as far as keeping side effects low, harm mitigation. Guy's got a good physique already though. But I thought the comments were interesting on my thing here, man. Just the diversity of comments on this one. It was comical. Everything from you don't even look like you lift to, you know, you're on clearly on lots of trend. Like I had both extremes. It was kind of funny. It's for the thumbnail I put up here. And that's just a screenshot from Friday's training. People are funny. Hey Dad, you didn't hit like, by the way. And we gotta talk about this like situation. Cool. Yeah. I'm gonna overdraw all this. Cool. Send that over to my bank. Well, the trend comments are a compliment. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that like, Dad. The trend comments are a compliment because I'm definitely not on trend. Right? It'd be funny if I did. Dude, if I ran like 500 trend a week or something, just do it in, people freak out. I wouldn't even do that. If I was going to juice hard at this point, it would just be testing growth hormone and aromacin. Like I wouldn't mess with any anabolics. There's no normal dose of trend, dude. I see guys get away with as little as 100 a week, 100 to 150. They used to be starting doses back in the day, but I don't want to do a lot of gear talking here, dude. I've known a bodybuilders doing 200 every day. Like I've known guys personally. GH15 used to advocate for that. Right. So yeah, like the OG back in the day, it was like 53 times a week was what dudes used to mess with. You know, but I come from that generation where everyone made trend. Like trend got so popular because it was illegal to buy and convert yourself. Like, well, not to convert, but you could legally buy normal trend. You can still buy it. It's just that now they've added estrogen to it, so it's not as attractive for dudes. You know? Yeah. So you used to be able to buy cattle implants, both test prop and trend acetate. You used to be able to buy them at the Tractor Supply and the feedlot stores. But they were implants, and you'd have to convert them. So that was normal when I was younger. Like in my early 20s, that was standard. So that really made those two really popular because you didn't have to go through the black market. You could just make the stuff yourself. And without going down to Mexico. So everyone used to go down to Mexico to get pharmaceutical, which was legal. Like you're not breaking the laws to go buy it. You're not supposed to bring it across the border, but they did. So hence, let's come over and talk about, think about that for a moment, Dad. Why do we have a border situation and a drug flow and illegal immigration situation in the U.S.? The open border. So when I was young, we're talking 25 years ago, it was normal for one of your bros to go down to Mexico, buy enough anabolics for 5 or 6 dudes next 2 or 3 cycles, and just drive back across the border with it back into the country in his car. Okay. Into the United States and get through the checkpoints just fine. So why do you think we have problems in the U.S. here? No, I don't think gear should be, but you see the point. Let's set aside whether we think gear should be illegal. So put that into context of why we scream about a problem with all the cartels running North Mexico and then all the slaves, right? When I was younger, that was standard for one of your bros to go down to Mexico and buy 15 cycles or 20 cycles for a group of dudes and drive across the border with it without getting popped. Drive right back into the United States. Mind you, those quantities in Texas on hand are 20 to life in prison. Dudes would just drive across the border. It's pretty similar. This is why there's such a political struggle, why our governor shut the border down and locked it down with military, and then Joe Biden overturned it and they got into a legal fight. So all over the world, they've turned it in the rest of the U.S. into a political issue to where if you want to close the border, that you're a racist, that this is the way they spin it, that you don't. But the problem is you have 10 million undocumented immigrants in the U.S. from there. 10 million people in our country with no record of them being in the country. There's an unlimited flow of drugs, talking cocaine, heroin across the border, and then there's slaves. So because of the open border, I hate to have to say this, if you want to buy a little girl and you have enough money, you can purchase one. No one even knows she's in the country. She doesn't speak English. That's how messed up that border situation is. I know someone personally who kicked in a door. They thought they were rolling a drug operation, and they found 8 underage girls handcuffed to beds inside. Undocumented, no records of being in the United States, no idea who they were. They had no identity, didn't speak English. That's the situation we have with our border. Right? So, right, they didn't even know they were there. They thought they were busting a drug thing. Instead, they were trafficking sex slaves, like as property, like in chains, handcuffed. Property. Not putting them out on the street. We're talking they were slaves. Straight up, dude. In the United States. No paperwork, no idea who they were. They were brought into the country illegally from down south. So, you look at that, but then if you oppose that, if you opposed that open border situation, all of a sudden people here will try to say you're a far right extremist and that you're a white supremacist because you want to close the border. Instead, we're going, I don't know, man. I don't think people should own slaves. I don't think you should be able to bring 12-year-old girls in chains across the border as slaves who happen to be brown. You know, I'm just saying, but if you hold that position, you're a racist. Like, you can't even make this make sense. You can't even make this up. No, I have a feeling, I don't know that he will finish his term. Dude, it's going to be ugly. I think the way this election went, because even with them holding power, the other party, and I still think there was a lot of bakery with the election. Popular vote and electoral college, he won. The right wing took everything. They took most of the state governors, they took the House, they took the Senate, everything. I mean, Dad, you're free to give your opinion. Just keep it fairly tame. So you have that situation where people were sick of what happened there. So I think it's a case of, if he fixed the economy, he lowers taxes, Vance will be president. Like, his vice president will be in. And in theory, Trump could be president again. All they would have to do is run him as vice president, and Vance steps down, he would be president again. I'm not saying that's what they would do, but I feel like at this point, if they fix the economy and lower taxes, they're going to take everything again. Because people got a taste, like everyone got a taste of the economy he built for us. It was nice for a while. Dude, I was making the most money I've ever made in my life. Like, the money I was making just running my online business was almost twice the money that I was making when I worked doing the natural gas contract work from my home, doing it at home. Kind of matters, man. People got a taste of that economy, and then everything went horrible in the U.S. And the media can deny it all they want, but all the common person. So that was a problem with that election. The whole media and the left were screaming the economy is strong, while everybody in person is saying, what are you talking about? My business went bankrupt. I can barely pay my bill. Like everybody is saying that on the street while watching them lie about it on television. Like, we were clearly, to every normal working class person, we've been in a recession for a couple of years now. And it's overwhelming. Like, everyone talks about it. They all know it. They all say it, talking to each other. And then the media would scream that we're having a great, strong economy while people are losing their homes and their businesses and going bankrupt. Dude, yeah, with Rona and online coaching skyrocketed. So at the peak after that, Alan, my average month was about 8,000 in coaching, and then it climbed up to 10,000, and I had to slow it down. I had to slow it down because it was too much. But keep in mind, I also had my YouTube at that time, making money. Yeah, so the online coaching blew up, dude. Like, my online coaching very, very quickly after Rona started hitting 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 a month, and then it climbed up to about 10,000 for a little while, for about 3 months straight. But I had to scale it. It was too much work. Like, I couldn't handle the workload. Like, I was trying to make videos, and yeah, it was too much. So yeah. But yeah, so if they fix the economy and it goes back anywhere near where it was during that golden era, just in general, they're not losing power. Alan, hit that like, by the way. We only got one like. Come on, guys. got to make a little post here. Doing something a little different with my post for a moment. Take that money out. I mean, I got to set these in a rotation so that it doesn't hit me for spam. Give me a second, guys. Got to run business like clockwork. Wait, I got to click that one. That can't be in there. No, we're good. And I'll be right back to you guys. All right, so we're back over. I think there was a terror attack, and I'm very sad what's happening. When yesterday, today. We still only have one like in here, man. What's up with that? This is a slow coffee chat today. It'll pick up though. So when I'm doing some of these posts, I have to set up stuff to where I set them in rotations. So I come back in like 5 minutes and hit another button. Yeah. So I can post the same joke or meme to 30 groups, all monetized, but I can't do them too fast. Like I got to set them in 10 group blocks. A mass stabbing. See, you know, again, Second Amendment would sort that out. Right? And dude running around stabbing. He's bust a cap in that ass. Know what I'm saying, dog? All right, I'm gonna get some coffee. Be right back. But Dad, you didn't say what you think was the fall of Western civilization. So let me know. I did. Oh, you blamed you. No, don't blame you. It's not women's fault. No, dudes, men, you set the tone, man. Like, no, dudes are to blame for a lot of that. Men set the tone. Okay. And if men are not behaving like men, that's what makes the women behave the way that dudes are worried about. Like, this has to work both ways. This has to work both ways, guys. If men are not behaving like men, then women are not going to follow lead and behave like women. What's going on, Lars? Oh no, you're pulling the whole natural hypothesis. Hello, YouTube. It is natural hypothesis with my courageous French accent. So today we want to talk about Jason Bleble. Are you currently on TRT? It's yes, and it's none of your business what my dosage is. You need to understand how insanely rude it is. You're not American. I already know you're not American. In the U.S., that is insanely rude to ask people their medical. So all you need to know for someone's TRT is that they're on TRT, because that tells you they're in the normal range. Their dose doesn't matter. And if they're not in the normal range, they're not on TRT. Because for one person, the normal range might be 100 milligrams, and for someone else, it might be 200. So their dosage is largely irrelevant. But Lars, I'll tell you just, Dad and the boys, they're emotional voters brainwashed by universities believe that, well, that happens all the way around. What's the upper end? 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. So the reference range on blood work is 300 to 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. TRT is not supposed to take you above 1,000. It's not technically TRT anymore if it does. All right. Yeah, from Russia. It's fairly normal. Russia discussed doses. No, because it's not about it being a lifters. Like in America, medical privacy is a big deal. So asking another person what medications they're given by their doctor and what amounts that you don't have a rapport with is considered a major cultural breach in the U.S. No, dudes talking about their steroid doses is normal, but TRT is a medical issue. Like that's from a TRT means that you are getting it from a doctor for therapeutic purposes. So in America, it's considered a very, very big cultural taboo to ask somebody, hey, what medications does your doctor give you? Oh, they give you Abilify, they give you Cialis, like what's your milligrams? Oh, like how many milligrams of Lipitor are you on? To just like ask a stranger that is, and it's people are really funny about their medical privacy. Like you go to prison for getting someone's medical records. You can go to prison for it here. Like if you illegally obtain their private medical stuff. Like it's a big deal in the US. So because when you're asking TRT, you're not asking their steroid stack. You're asking them, hey, what does your doctor give you for health purposes? Makes sense? That's not the same question. Now, if I was blasting a bunch of gear, that would be a fair question. Except then I live in a country where it's illegal. So technically, all these YouTubers who get up and tell you what they're on is enough to get a warrant to send them to prison. Like technically, if the police watch that video in their city and they really want to, they could just arrest them. They could get a warrant, go to their house because they admitted I'm on drug XYZ, this amount of it. That's technically enough to get sent to prison because now they can get a warrant. They can go search your house and, oh man, the amount you have here is 20 years in prison. You know what I mean? So it's like, so even if you were in Russia, you probably wouldn't get up on your YouTube in your real face and voice and say, hey, I'm breaking this law, this law, this law. I know here in Moscow, I could get 15 years in prison for this, but I'm doing it and I'm admitting to it. Does that make sense? So that's a problem too. These guys are stupid as hell for doing that in the US. They really shouldn't. So that's another reason there's a fake natty thing, as long as it has that legal status. Yeah, so that's what you're asking. So that would be the equivalent of you getting up in your real voice, real face, trackable by the government, and just announcing on the camera, "Oh yeah, dude, I'm involved in this extortion ring. That's we have illegal contraband that's 20 years in a Russian prison. They send you to Siberia for this. But yeah, this is where I keep it at." You see what I'm saying? So people forget that context when they start asking dudes those questions. I mean, you're asking Americans, are they committing a prison time felony? You know, great to see you, Coach from Australia, mate. What's up, Jerry? Yeah, we don't get a whole lot of Americans this time of morning. I get some, but man, it's 5:50 in the morning where I'm at. You know, over in the great Republic of Texas. But I'm just on a replacement dose of test, bro, these days from my doctor, which is perfectly legal, officer. Like I have a prescription. So 10 a.m. in Australia. Yeah. What is? How's it only? It's 10 a.m. there. You sure it's 10 a.m. or is it not 10 p.m.? Yeah, I think it's probably like 10 p.m. Broski, because dad and the boys, he's Australian. He's one of you not Kiwis. Kiwis is New Zealand. What do we call Australians? Aussies. I'm sorry. Or what else would we call you? Fucking cunts. No, I'm kidding. Well, you cunts are putting some shrimp on the Barbie. I know Jerry went to the same school. Oh, so you know him? We get called Aussies. Okay. I told him to come in. Gotcha. He didn't even know what time it was, man. Hey, Jeremy, you didn't hit the like button, man. We only have one like in here. How do we have like 5 people chatting and one like? We got to fix this problem. But, yeah, that's not good. Seconds on that. Jeremy isn't the sharpest tool in the shed, if you know what I mean, Coach. Problem fixed. There we go. Awesome. There we go. Those likes are getting up. Well, not everyone can be the sharpest knife in the drawer. There can really only be one sharpest knife in the drawer. You know what I mean? I mean, objectively speaking, there can only be one. And I feel like that would be me at this point. We lost a like already. Someone giveth and they taketh away. Yeah, no, we're just waking up. That's true in today, Jeremy. Coach, I thought I had moved on from my ex, but I haven't. I still wake up. Limitless, you getting nightmares because of an ex, because a girl broke you. Dude, I hope you clown it. Limitless, what do you mean nightmares? Oh my God. So I thought Jeremy was new here. So how does he know all this? Coach, I have to ask, you're looking a lot more lean these days. Have you changed your diet? No, I've just added more cardio this year. Just more cardio, that's it. I mean, my diet is always clean. I haven't, but to be fair, I haven't had any cheat meals this year. I haven't had a single cheat day this year. You know, Coach be on that chicken and rice lifestyle. You taking any? No, he's clearly not taking my advice. Lola says, "Well, I'm thinking of the nice times we had when she said I was the best thing in her life, and for her to dump me 2 weeks later." Well, you clearly messed up. So here's the thing: you're a young dude. Quit getting hung up on this one girl, bro. I've had my heart broke so many times, man. I've been broken up with. I've broken up with girls. I've thrown girls out. It happens, man. Like I've thrown one out that you guys knew about. You know, I would say out of my relationships, how many did I initiate the breakup? Because I mean, official relationship where we agreed. I've only I've only been broken up with twice. I've usually done the breaking up. Yeah, he's Limitless is still going on about this girl. So Limitless, man, there's more fish in the sea, dude. Bro, come on. You're young. So we were going on the thing, man. I've only had two girls break up with me. I've broken up with most of them. I've thrown one of them out, changed the locks. Yeah, get a time massage. Yeah, he's a lost cause, dude. Limitless, bro. You got to quit going on about it. Go get under a squat bar, build your confidence, build yourself into the sort of man that attracts the sort of woman that you want. This is my advice, right? So that's what you need to do. Take care of your business as a man, where you clearly are not building yourself into. I mean, you've not even filming yourself in the squat rack when Ted wanted you to, man. You got to learn to put yourself out there. Like, keep it pimp, right? That's right. You got to keep it strictly pimping. All right. So we're going to give you a theme song, Limitless. You ready? It's a 50 Cent song. You got to check the flow here. Be like, I don't know what you heard about me, but a bitch can't get $1 out of me. No Cadillac, no perm, you can't see. Because I'm a motherfucking PIMP. There you go. There's your theme song. Work on it. I need you to channel this song. Remember, by 50 Cent. All right. This will help you. Go get strong under squat rack. Channel focus done. She was not your fish. Clearly, she wasn't your fish, Limitless. She told you to hit the road. She was not your fish. Go find a different fish. Girls don't want a huge muscle guy anyways. They want aesthetics. You're not going to be a huge muscle guy without anabolics. That's not a concern. She sounded like she was a tuna. She sounded like she was a tuna. Yeah, man. You'll get you a fish that doesn't smell bad. Bad mini man. Wow. So what Matthew is saying is she's for them streets, bro. You go get you a good girl. But here's the thing, Limitless. So build yourself into the man that attracts the sort of woman that you want. There's your problem. This is where you guys mess up. Dudes out here think, just like you know how people talk about women will be entitled and delusional as to what they think they deserve. All right. Dudes will pull the same stuff. Matthew's got a good point. You want to find a good woman, church is not a bad place. I think Matthew, to be fair, I think is reasonable advice. You odds of her being a good girl, having some values, wanting to be a wife, the hell of a lot higher if she goes to church. Just saying. Limitless. So yeah, wait, are you Muslim or what are you? Let's break it down, man. I don't know how to give you advice on dating in that culture. I can't help you. You're gonna need to go find someone who specializes in your culture. You're in a Muslim country. Didn't you say you're in Indonesia? Indonesia, I don't think it's a fully Muslim country. Indonesia. Religion demographics. I'm gonna find out. 87%? Oh, geez. Well, you might need to get out of that country then. There's your problem. So you're in a 87% Muslim country as a non-Muslim. You're gonna have a hard time, homie. You might want to work on some skills and get out of there. Yeah, Limitless, I can't help you. Limitless, I have no ability to help you in your situation. My advice is not going to be of any value to you. My advice is work on your career and get out of that country. Limitless, my advice, quit looking for a girlfriend then in that country. Dude, your country is 87% Muslim and you're not a Muslim. That's a problem. What skills do you have? You need to be working on getting a visa out of there is what you need to be doing. Oh, Dad said you can come to Australia. Man. To be fair, you can't really stop him if he gets a visa. So Limitless, what do you do for a living? What are your skills? What do you do? And quit holding back on it. Go to Papua New Guinea, beautiful ladies. There you go. You go to Thailand or something. Good morning, Coach. Looks like you're up with the there we are, man. We're up before the sun. Yesterday was a good day. Had another guy buy a consultation. Had a returning client come back. We good, man. He just paid. You're a chemical biodata engineer? Are you serious? And you can't get a girl? Homie, hold up. Bro, how high is your education level with this? What sort of degree do you have in chemical engineering? I recognize videos are good advertising. Yeah, they're pretty decent. To be fair, man, Mike and Emma sold me a lot. Okay. Limitless, you're telling me that you have a master's in chemical engineering. Am I understanding this? Am I correct in this assumption? You have a master's degree in chemical engineering, and you're sitting in the middle of Indonesia as a non-Muslim and can't get a girl because you're not Muslim. Why don't you just go to the US? You clearly speak English. You're clearly proficient in English enough to communicate. You speak the language and you have a master's degree in chemical engineering. Why are you sitting in Indonesia crying about these girl problems? Example, you're applying for jobs in Europe. No, don't convert to Islam. So, Limitless, you're aware that where I live with a master's degree in chemical engineering, that if you applied for a job in Houston and transferred over here for one of these chemical, do you know how many chemical plants we have here? Dow has plants here, Enron, Chevron, everybody have massive plants in the Houston area. You're aware you would be clearing at least 200,000 a year. Are you aware what a 4 or 5 bedroom new house costs where I live? Like 2 to 3 years of your annual income buys the whole house. Where I live with your degree and your proficiency in English, if that you really and truly have that degree, you could literally get a job at Dow Chemical or Enron here in the Houston area, move here, go buy a Mercedes in a 4 bedroom house and find a girl. I mean, dude. You got fired. So you got fired. So you had a misconduct issue. You have a clean criminal record. Limitless, have you ever been arrested? All right. Very scared to go. So you've never been arrested. You speak English and you have a master's degree in chemical engineering as a non-Muslim. Do you know how easy it would be for you to get a job in the U.S. and to get a good career and build a life? Like, dude, there's your solution, bro. Again, pointing out being a non-Muslim coming out of a Muslim-dominant country into a conservative area like this, dude, it would not be hard for you to get a job, especially if you mentioned that in the application. Yeah, this is Limitless who's no, he's scared to video the squatting. I banned the guy who was scared to squat any real way. I already banned that dude. Got rid of him, I think. Limitless is scared to film himself, but he's pretty much being cucked by Lucy Coach. She's about to start pegging him, honestly. So yeah, there's your problem, Limitless. That's the advice I'm going to give you. You need to get out of that country. Dude, with those qualifications, you could be in the top 10% income in the U.S. within a year or two. Well, I asked her what her name was, and he said, well, she's named after a drug. You're going to think it's funny. So, well, what's her name? And he wrote Lucy Coach. So we're just calling her Lucy Coach, even though he was referring to me as Coach because I think it's funny. The one girl. So where's Lucy from? So you're her little spoon. Even cyclists giving you a hard time and laughing about that. The girl calls you her little spoon. Oh, bro. I think Leno says she joined Team Blaha, get jacked, improve his confidence, and he'll smash it. There we go. No, you didn't try Sudan. The dude could literally move to the U.S. He's got a master's in chemical engineering and speaks English. Actually, Dad, you should want him in Australia too, to be fair. To be fair, that's actually what you want. Oh, Jesus, guys. Dude, you have a master's degree in chemical engineering and you're proficient in English. I don't want to hear shit about your problems. You could fix this next week. You could fix this problem next week if you wanted to. Done. I'm getting more coffee. We getting coffee. All right, we're back. We're back in action. So we have your solution here, Limitless. Like, you need to get out of that country, and that would be so easy. No criminal record, fluent in English, master's in chemical engineering. Your problems are self-inflicted. Get up and fix it. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps, son. But who's going to take him, Coach? He can't do anything. He's got a master's in chemical engineering, and he speaks English. I will travel. My family is here. My parents, I need to take care of them. Take them with you. You need to take care of your parents. We can't have them spoiling the gene pool. Oh, no, dude. He's got a master's in chemical engineering. He's not stupid. Let's be fair. I mean, worst case, he still have a good career. I guess he could can find a woman who wants to make him her little spoon permanently, I don't know, dude. There's a lot of women who will put up with a lot from for a dude who's got a master's in chemical engineering. I'm just saying, I'm not saying all women are gold diggers or not, but I'm just saying you bring a lot of financial security to a woman. But Coach AI will do the intellectual stuff in the near future. We need other skills. There's some truth to that. Really, tech skills. Skilled labor is honestly where it's going to be at, I think, with AI certain. So the AI is not that smart. I see a lot of the stupid stuff it writes, though. The arguments that people give me from ChatGPT are intellectually devoid. It's not functioning at a high level yet. We've definitely not reached super intelligence. A lot of people have masters in chemical engineering who doesn't always translate to a high paid job. Where I live, it will. He needs a 250 kilogram deadlift, 300 kilogram squat. These skills he needs, right? I'd say 50%. Yeah, so you need to be looking at the US Limitless. Point out the fluency in English. And make sure that you put the religion is non-Muslim. It will go really far. It'll help you. Like, dude, because they're going to ask you the religion. They're not allowed to legally look at it for job decisions, but they're going to ask. That would be discrimination. So have you listened to any AI? No. There's some awesome reinterpretations. No, I'm good, David. As a real musician, I find that slightly offensive, David. Limit countries, you can still extend in Sudan and Venezuela. He could do good in Venezuela too, dude. I've known some baddies from Venezuela. That's not a bad go. Just saying. You can go get you Mamacita from Venezuela. She'll take care of you. But if I leave, I'm gonna. You're not. I thought you said you weren't into Lucy. You're letting Lucy dominate you. You need to fix this. You need to become a Christian. Go. She can get you a good Christian girl. You start going to church. I think that'll solve some of your problems also, man. You're gonna miss Lucy. Or really something wrong with it. I mean, if that's your, I can't do it, homie. I mean, look, dude, if that's your kink, man, I'm not gonna kink shame, right? I'm not gonna kink shame. I just can't do it. You know, I mean, I'm cool with her being on top, but that's about the extent of it, you know. No, I don't like it. I just panic in the moment. Wait, you don't even like being dominated? You're letting Lucy coach be dominant with you and you don't even like it. You panic. Bro. I need a moment. Here. All right. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be like, even Psych laughed and said, "Oh God, you can't be the little spoon." She straight up told you that. You don't want her behind you clapping your cheeks. And that's the problem, dude. You're the little spoon. She called you the little spoon, bro. She's grinding on you from behind, slapping your booty, clapping them cheeks. This is, you need, bro. And then you're saying you don't even like it. Like, I mean, Yeah, no. What you need to do, Limitless, come over here to U.S. You go. Venezuela's not a bad go. Texas wouldn't be a bad go. You got fluent in English, masters in chemical engineering. Come over, start going to church, man. I mean, especially where I live, even. So, I mean, perfect example, dude. Even if you want to stick with Asian girls, man, there's tons of Asian girls are like super Christian where I live. Like, seriously. They all go to church, right? Coach, I think Limitless is beyond help. There's nothing more you can say. All right, Coach, I got to go to bed. Yep, take care. But I think the other guys were right, man. You go to church. That'll help. Meet a good girl. I mean, this was all sound advice you were given. Hold on, I gotta hit a couple things on the social media. Wait, I thought I put another post up. Where did that post go? Give me a second here. All right. Man, nothing happened here. I was tabbed over for a minute doing some stuff and nobody commented. Yeah. So I've given you sound advice limitless. You need to go start putting in, applying. There's tons of chemical plants in all these places. Yeah. Thanks, Coach. I'll do an application. I mean, any of those are good choices. The Houston area, anywhere along the Gulf of America, and Venezuela. And yes, I'm calling it that because that is the official name. I saw some people post that, like one of these left wing pages. It's not the Gulf of America. I'm like, it legally is now. People are forgetting that. They're trying to be resistant to it. It was legally changed during this administration. It was legally changed. Congress voted and passed the law. The United States changed the name of it. Like they wrote a bill. It is the Gulf of America. It's just funny because I used to call it, I used to go work in the Gulf for this stuff. But it's the Gulf of America now, man. USA. Where do you live though, David? Where are you at? I don't even know what country you're in, David. I don't know if you're British or American. Where you living, David? What's up? On the back. Oh, you're in London. Yeah. It's a bit to get over to Texas from there. It'd be culture shock though for you. The one thing I would say, most of Texas though, if you're from the UK, you were not ready for the weather. You were not ready for the weather. I mean, context. It's November. You see any snow out there? I got a fan on overhead. Far too liberal and left wing over here. Yeah. Keep in mind though, man, like even you get into a place like Texas though, even some of the liberals here, you'd be surprised. They're unless they're a far leftist, they're not. They're more, again, unless they're on the far left, you'd be surprised how conservative they actually are. It's interesting. Oh. I think one of the differences we get here, and I think people forget, so a lot of even liberals here are not anti-gun, they're anti-modern gun. Like a lot of them are what we call FUDs, right? They're not part of the tactical community. These are terms that developed over a decade ago. We saw this divergence in firearm culture. It kind of split. Basic FUD mentality, low tech, supposed to have wood on it, and it's for hunting. But they all own guns. And they all hunt, and they believe in them. But if it's got black plastic on it, it's scary. Right? That's the defining characteristic in those categories. The presence of black plastic versus wood is a big deal. Like in Texas, you can defend your property if needed. Over here, you probably get arrested if you stop. I mean, look, let me explain how it works. Depending on how it goes down, you may go to arrested. You might go to prison. You might have to go to trial. So even in identical circumstances, what you say to the police that day and the history behind it matters as to whether you go sit in jail and wait for trial and have to go all the way to trial versus them dropping it. It's literally how you respond that day, knowing what to say to the police, knowing what to say on the police reports, knowing what to say on the questions. What they get you on record saying is a big deal. Like, you got to know the laws. Like, I already know, because I deal with, trolling and stalking stuff. I have it all known what I need to do and say to not get arrested. And I have an absolutely enormous backlog of evidence. I'm sleeping in my bed that night. So, good morning, Jason. What's up, Ryan? Don't comment until speaking alert. No, you do need. That's good, but not necessarily. Good morning, Ryan. How we doing? I'll get you a sheet later. I got to do like 5 or 6 sheets this morning later after this. Got to get everybody situated. I didn't do as much client work yesterday as I wanted. So I have like 6 people who need workouts today, which is a lot. I'll get them. I did some, but it was, I had a more chill day yesterday. I'll send my numbers. Yeah, let's get all the numbers over so we can get you sorted. Now I got to do you. Matthias needs a sheet. I already got Alex and Ted, though. Who else do I got? Paulo. I got a bunch of people. Who need sheets. Sorry, I'm going down my list. Why did I hit that wrong button? So we got her, Sorted, Taha, Dustin, Paulo. Okay. Actually, I have 7 people who need workouts today. 8, 7 or 8. I'll get all of them. That's a lot of what? Oh, what list? Oh, clients who need new workouts written today, new training weeks. I have like 7 or 8 people. That's a lot for one day, but I'll get them this morning. I have nothing else that has to be done after I get out of the coffee chat, technically. But Ryan's in here. Ryan's one of them who needs a sheet today for tomorrow's training. It won't take that long, dude. No, it'll take me an hour. Maybe a little longer, because I just go over all the notes. Like, these are people I'm already training. I just look at their sheets, their notes. Like, some of my guys literally send me just spreadsheets. Ryan sends me just his videos and then his numbers. This how many reps I got, he just types them out. So I can just adjust a new spreadsheet and give them a new 3 or 4 workouts for the coming week. And sometimes I don't make any changes. Sometimes we just run the exact same week. Like, we don't always have to change stuff. Like, if for example, Ryan's got his rep ranges on everything where I want them, the training maxes look good, I don't want to change the numbers, I might only change the date and re-hand him a new sheet. Doesn't happen that often. Like, I'd say 80% of weeks we adjust something. at some numbers. But, 10, 20% of them we don't. Some people I have to completely rewrite. We rotate full programming over. So that's a lot of work. But I don't have anybody today who I'm changing their programming. I'm literally only changing numbers. Right? Maybe one of my guys, I might change his accessory work. So most of my sheets today, all I'm doing is changing the weights on the bar. Most of them, not all of them, the majority. It's pretty straightforward. So I just adjust my spreadsheets and send, change the dates, adjust the sheets, and pop it over. One of my guys, I need to change his accessory work, though. So we've done for Ryan a little bit here and there. We haven't had to do a lot of it. Yeah, you're pretty simple client. Like yours is pretty straightforward. Most of my people are. I mean, some of them, Ted's stuff gets pretty complicated, honestly. Like you, Alex, fall into very, very simple. Keep in mind, Ryan is on a cut. Ryan is like almost 2 years into a cut. So Ryan is down 95 pounds of body weight right now. He's almost 100 pounds into his cut. But give him your numbers, Ryan. I can tell him. He benches 315 with a pause. Deadlifts 460. Now we're box squatting at the moment instead of back squatting, but he was high 300s. Almost 400 on the back squat, but we're over to doing a box right now. So we're doing all like 375, 380 off the box. But he's down into the 220s. He was well over 300 pounds. So he's been in a deficit for like 2 years almost. So our goal for this year was to bench 315 at 220. We got the bench to 315. No, he doesn't compete. He just lifts for fun and to be strong and fit. So our goal was to bench 315 at 220. We got to the 315 at 230, and he's still been losing weight. But I'm going to be right back, guys. I'm going to need coffee and restroom. Yep. All right, Coach Eno is back. We back. No, Ryan is an easy client. I have some nightmare clients sometimes, and I'll get to a point like if my outreach picks up to a certain point, I'm only going to take easy clients from there. I'm not going to take nightmare clients. All right. Coaching under 25 sounds like a nightmare. It's not just it's occasional certain backgrounds with stuff. I find honestly the most aesthetic success dudes are the most problematic, especially if they're in their 20s. Like I already know, okay, I can tell you right now as a coach, any dude who's obsessed with his hair is going to be a nightmare every single time. Any dude who's talking about hair transplants, any dude who takes a 5 alpha reductase inhibitor because of his hairline, 100% chance they're going to be a nightmare client. I've never found an exception. I have never had a client who takes a 5 alpha reductase inhibitor or who worries about hair transplants or anything like that who is not a effing nightmare client. Never had an exception. It's like a red flag. I have never had a client who takes a 5 alpha reductase inhibitor who doesn't act like a bitch. Not once. Any dude who's worried about his hairline, dude, I know they're going to cry and throw temper tantrums like a little girl. Every single time as a coach, without fail. And I'm not saying that because I hold a bias in public with viewers. I'm saying that my bias towards that is based on my coaching experience. I've noticed a trend. This is from 5, 6, 7 years of experience dealing one-on-one with clients. Any dude who cares about his hairline and takes drugs for it, oh my God, dude, he is going to behave like a crybaby girl. They might as well be injecting estrogen. It's like scary accurate prediction. Like I already know it's going to be a ride. Seems you're like, oh, I take Propecia. It's like, oh God, here we go. Yeah, shave my head. I just shave it. I do my beard with every few days. I just take that half clipper to my beard and just turn it down. But yeah, dude, it's just been my experience, man. And it's something with the personality. But I've just noticed this overlap. Like they that's the dudes who are going to cry about workouts. That's the dudes who are they're gonna throw hissy fits. Like and again, it's just a pattern I've observed. It's like, wow, it's consistent. Like, man. Like the odds so I can tell you right now, as a coach, any dude who takes anything for his hairline, there's a 50-50 he's going to come back to you and say, I'm not doing this workout. At some point when you hand him a workout sheet, I'm not doing it. Yeah. Chris Bumstead had a hair transplant, right? Is it true that ladies love a bit of salt and pepper? Do they love it, man? But I want it. You've been taking finasteride for years. I'm saying limitless. There we go. Yeah. But it could also be what affected your ED, right? That could be a factor, limitless. No, dude, women like a little salt and pepper, man. One of my friends I engage with on social media, she's hilarious, and no, she's got a dude, but we have a lot of banter back and forth. And she's done a weight loss journey. She put up on her status a couple weeks back. It was hilarious. I was crying. She's like, what all you girls need out there. She wrote this. It's like you need a man with some gray in his beard to fold you all like sheets to straighten you, to fold you like laundry to straighten you out a little bit. It's like, oh my god, that's a woman writing that. So she's like, y'all ladies need a man with some gray in his beard to fold you like laundry and straighten you out a little bit. Oh my god. David said, I had a hair transplant in March and went through Istanbul to get it done. Very happy with the results. I couldn't lift for a month afterwards, which is very annoying, right? Yep. There should be male clinics that do permanent scalp hair laser removal in business. I'm telling you, man. I would just, honestly, if it was easy and cheap, I would just literally electrolysis the rest of mine off. Yeah. Oh man. Are you still running? I mean, I wanted to, but I had to take the weekend off. So I'll try to run on Tuesday. I'm trying to, but I ended up meeting. I was going to run yesterday, but I'm like, I got to have this whole weekend off. I got to recover. My body is saying, no, we are done. And I'm paying attention to my body. You can't train like I do at my age and play around like that. When I'm getting warning signs of overreaching, we take it in the weekend. I'm chilling, I'm relaxing, getting caught up on sleep. No lifting. I did a set of reverse hypers yesterday for really high reps, like 50 reps. I did a 50 rep set before I got on here, and we're good, man. That's been the entirety of my physical activity outside of, cooking and things, obviously, getting up and doing my stuff. So I'm super relaxing. Of course, got to see morning coffee chats. They're still going, man. Yep. Um, all right. Do you see any changes in me when you take multiple days off from training? I can go more day off. As an exercise addict, yeah, but I've learned to just let go of it. I've learned to just say, you know what? If I don't listen to my body, I'm going to get injured. And if I get injured, what are we going to do? Right? That's what I remind myself of. I'd be like, dude, if I pull something or I get hurt, what sort of downtime am I going to have? I'm going to be missing a lot more than a day. What's it going to do to my career? What's it going to do to my outreach? What's it going to do to my money? Like if I get a major injury training, what's that going to do to my income? For me as a coach, for me as a fitness content creator, is it going to affect my standard of living and hurt me? I have more to lose than you do. You only have some medical bills and an injury. It could literally affect my job, my career, my business. So for me, that's an easy choice. I mean, if I went with just what my brain wanted to do, I would deadlift 7 days a week. I would go deadlift every day, 365 days a year if I just did what I wanted. I'd get up and deadlift every single morning. And I wouldn't squat. So if I only did what I wanted to do, dude, I would never squat and I would get up and deadlift 7 days a week. First exercise of the day would be the deadlift. So, we have to temper what we want with some common sense. Yeah, being a business and generating your own income, I got to think of that stuff. I mean, imagine Coach Blaha injures his back. Or rips a hamstring right there on camera. Yeah, I hate squats. So I always laugh at that when people say squats aren't necessary. I'm like, I hate squats. I do squats. I squat up to 3 days a week right now. I loathe squats. It's the one exercise that if I could pick, I would never do again. Yep. But it brings so much to the table. It's such a valuable exercise. Right, or pop to Teddy, you know. Plus, I have to consider what if I want to powerlift again, and I will want to powerlift again. Because if it was just about what I wanted to do, I wouldn't squat, dude. I'd put my focus on the bench press and the deadlifts and just push pull. But I also know from a strength perspective as a coach, let's be real. I don't show up and do a full meet. Like, did anybody really respect strap on when he did a bench only? I mean, seriously, real lifters. Did anybody really respect that? I mean, I get it if you're Julius Maddox. Like, if you're have a world record in the bench press, okay. Right? Like, you bench press 700 pounds, okay, fair enough. But if you're doing bench only and you bench 450, nobody respects you. In the strength world, you're not doing a full meet, dude. You're doing a single event. Come on. So that's what I think about too. As a strength coach, I need to show up and do full meets. I can't show up and do just a push pull, even if that's what I would want to do. Like, that would be way more fun. Like, I'd love to just deadlift and not squat. But squat brings so much athleticism to the table, you know. So, I have to think of those things. Plus, I'm good at squatting. I think people forgot that. I went a year and a half without doing a single squat. I did 18 months of zero squatting and then came back and hit those state records and even hit that 600 on the Cambridge bar later. I did a year and a half with no squats, no direct quad work, unless we count deadlifts. Deadlifts were my quad work. It's still built back to that in my 40s because I didn't want to squat. Alan, because I don't like squats. I did what I wanted to do. All of that was in the middle of the weaponsmithing era. I did an 18-month stint with no direct quad work, no squats, no leg presses. I didn't start squatting again until a couple months before I built the home gym. Not even then, maybe a month, 6 weeks before I started building this home gym, and then did the Bulgarian. I did it so I could do the Bulgarian light at home. Because I trained at 24 at the time. It was easy to get there. I kept that private. No one knew, but the 24-hour fitness by Rice University, I used to go train there in the mornings. Do you think you'll be squatting? Should I, or I think I should, but I mean, if it came down to just what I wanted to do, I could disregard the squat. I could walk away from it and not care. It would probably be better for me if I keep squatting. It brings a lot to the table. So that's why when I tell people everyone should be doing certain lifts and people argue with me, I'm like, think about how that comes across to me. I'm like, the squat brings so much to the table for your fitness and athleticism and strength and health. It is such a valuable exercise. And it is the one exercise that I truly hate. I don't like it at all. Like, I really love doing it. Yet people will then say, oh, you don't need squats and I don't squat. So from my perspective, as someone who makes myself squat, who hates it personally, because I know what it brings to the table, how do you think I perceive those people? So think about it. So always remind people, think about how other people will perceive what you do with stuff. What do you think I think about those people? Especially they're on social media saying it. I mean, to me, I'm just kind of like, well, bro, sorry you're so fragile. Maybe you're the little spoon, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if someone has shoulder problems, they can only front squat. No, dude, I think that's so. If you can't back squat, but you can front squat still with your shoulder issues, I think that'll get it done. It's close enough. Close enough, dude. So you literally can't back squat due to a shoulder issue and you can't get it back there, but you can front squat just fine. I'd front squat. Wouldn't even have to think twice about that. Easy. I'd front squat if I had the ability to rack it right now. I like front squats. Like for me personally, in terms of enjoyment, I would much rather front squat than back squat. I don't like that weight sitting up on top of my back. That's what I don't like about squatting. That is literally why I hate the squat. I do not like that big weight sitting up on my back. I don't like it throwing me to the floor when I miss a squat. I don't like it one bit. But I don't like that weight up on my shoulders. That's what I don't like. Yet I do it. You guys have seen me squat 600 plus. I don't like it. You know? Hmm. So that really is the issue, is the fact that it's sitting up on top of my back. That's what I don't like. But I think that's something that we have to think about too. You know, you start talking putting 500 plus pounds on top of your back like that. Um, to get up and do that all the time, there's also something probably broken in you. Because it's one thing for dudes to put 315 on the bar and squat. It's not the same thing. We start putting 500 plus. If you really think about this from a psychology perspective, I don't know, dude. I don't think any of us who are willing to do that, we're built a little different. Um, Maybe there is probably something broken in you. I think even Tom Platz didn't like squats. Like, I hate squats, but I do them. You know, I do them. You know, oh, I do them anyways. But again, that's the things that we talk about. You know, voluntary hardship for the purpose of self improvement, right? Because for me, since I really dislike squats a lot, that's voluntary hardship. Subjecting yourself to it for the purpose of self improvement repeatedly over and over. You know, yeah. Coach, I tried free bar squats and my shoulders were sore. What did I do wrong? I don't know. Max, that is an extremely complicated topic. Um, we're be almost beyond one hour consultation level for that. If you're having problems with that, this got to be revamped. You need in person instruction. Um, like if I don't know that I can fix that in a consultation call. Maybe if you're at the gym or you're at your home gym while we did the call, we could probably fix some of it and get it dialed in. But without having the ability to see what you're doing and fix it in real time. So that's one of the problems, that if someone is only sending me videos after in Messenger and I have to fix it, it could take us 4 or 5 weeks to fix it. And I do mean that. But if I can get you one on one, real time, where you can hear what I'm saying and I can see what you're doing in real time on video, that's where you have to be to figure out what you're doing wrong with your squat setup. You know, and there's a lot of nuance in people's shoulder mobility. People with great shoulder mobility, it's just so easy. It's just like they need almost they learn it so easy. So it sounds like in your case, you're getting a little older and don't have the best shoulder mobility. So there's a lot that's got to be unpacked there. Right. And I got a dude right there arguing with me again in the comments. Oh, Dorian said dumbbells are better than the flat bench for your chest. There's zero evidence to support this. It's so ridiculous. There's no evidence for this at all. There's not one shred of evidence that dumbbells grow your chest better than a barbell on the flat bench. If I went purely off the evidence, only what we can measure in the lab, and the fact that plenty of dudes built massive chests with barbells just fine back in the day, I would argue that a dumbbell is a better delt exercise than it is than the flat bench. Yeah. Well, he kind of chimed in there. His quote, I'm going to read it out loud, put it under my little short. So I'm just looking at my comments. As Dorian Yates would say, flat bench press is for powerlifters. It's a shit exercise for building muscle. Do incline or dumbbells. Like, really? And I like incline. I think incline bench is great. But come on, guys. Dumbbells. There's no evidence that a dumbbell works more chest than the barbell. Zero. All right, in any event, guys, I'm going to probably wind this down, man. I'm getting kind of bored of the coffee chat. I know maybe if there was a bunch of supers, there's not many people in here. Yeah, I'll try to do a nice, good, long afternoon live stream, though. I got some client work and other stuff to do. Love you guys, and I'm out.